Huge matchup. This gives us an opportunity to take a look at the starting lineups brought to us by Elysian Brewing.
Yeah, these Seattle forwards are massive. James Malcolm, the Scotsman at hooker, and the massive second row. Over a quarter of a ton there, Jamie. And will the Arrows be able to compete in the set pieces with this big Seattle pack? In the back line, JP Smith, AJ Alatimu, the 9-10 combination, as good as it gets in MLR. And they have a lot of pace in the back three. And the coach, of course, the Irishman, Alan Clark, he has them well prepared and organized for this big game today.
Lineup brought to us by Westland Insurance. Let's take a look at the forwards here as Isaac Salmon slots into number 3. He'll be a force out there to be reckoned with. And the ever-steady back row of the Arrows, Mason Flesh at 6, Mitch Eady returning to the starting lineup, and Lucas Rumble getting the start at 7. And the ever-constant partnership of Ross Brody and Shane O'Leary, Mitch Richardson slotting into that 12 spot, and youngster Kobe Faust getting the opportunity to have a go at 15. And Pete Smith, I'm sure he had some choice words for the guys in the shed after the game last week. The development of grassroots rugby all across the country, and it is cold today. A slight breeze that's been picking up as the Seawolves, a cheeky chip to start, and that is number 12, Dan Creel, going the distance off the... And Brian, let's take a look.
Well, this is a play that's been exploited against the Arrows a few times in the last few weeks. Seattle's looked at the tape. That was too easy. We've talked about defense. And putting it down, the centers untouched at this level, totally unacceptable.
Excited to be able to bring rugby back to our nation's capital in Ottawa, so we're really looking forward to that.
Absolutely, and the success that you had off the back of the World Cup at the end of last year, and kind of have you seen growth in that sort of grassroots level? And I know funding is key, but I'm guessing more people, more women, more young girls.
Arrows on the field as Ross Brody has a snipe, and Brian, excellent stuff from him.
Yeah, it took an Arrows bounce. The ball spilled and it went right back up to Ross Brody.
Hatting the target, he brings it down. Seattle building this drive, looking strong so far. Smith at the back, just controlling everyone. Arrows trying to pile in here and stop that. Looks like he's over the line and he's in. Making it look easy against that monster of a man. Let's take another look at this, Brian.
And it's textbook positioning. The key here is they're lower than the Arrows. They're driving the legs. The ball comes back. Mitchell can smell the goal line. Driving ahead, driving ahead. It was actually, was it Malcolm in the end, the hooker who dotted it over?
Great job by the Arrows clearing their lines. Opportunity for them to put some pressure on Seattle, potentially looking for a penalty to come away with the lead here at halftime. Shane O'Leary, he takes it in, held up by Creel. Mitch Eady there, look up the middle. Classic move from him. He's got support, and Brody, can Brody outpace the prop? He does, under the post. Automatic 7 points.
1 point, how about going in to the sheds, up 6 points. Brody, we can't say enough about him. Week in, week out, regardless of the result, he wants the ball, he snipes. He wasn't going to get caught that time. He got caught earlier in the first half.
Turnbull, hard man to take down. Alatimo with the switch back inside to Creel, almost runs into the referee. Met by Simonton. That's Landry. 3 Arrows to take him down. Seattle looking to make an impactful start here as Hatting takes it on himself. He's over, and similar to the first half, Brian.
The Arrows did not want, but I'm also going to mention, I've called many Arrows games. This might be the most physical game I've seen. This Seattle team are really hammering away.
Back to Alatimo. Fatorik on the chase for Carlsay. Kobe Faust pinches in, and that's Mooneyham going for the line. Tons of take the lead. Straight through the post. That puts Seattle up 22-20. Both looking for. The Arrows need some kind of impact here on defense as Michael Shepard just misses Creel. He finds Hatting, who steps back inside. Shane O'Leary tries to cover, unable to, and he's in for a...
And Hatting, who we've mentioned a few times during the game. Yeah, that's too easy for Creel. He just went to his left. And there's the skipper Pretoria-born 29-year-old in support, and that's his brace.
Lovely little step and fend from Hatting. Simonton run into each other as Seattle gathers the ball back. He's got Turner in support. Finds Smith. Great interplay here. Mooneyham on the outside. Does he have the pace? Little goose step. Fancy footwork from him as Smith finds Foley. Is he going to be the one to put the dagger in the heart of the arrows? He dots it down. Ronan Foley, we touched on him at the half.
Came out of reach, but the 5th Seattle try scored by a very popular ex-Toronto Arrow, Ronan Foley.
And great line from him. Just picking a gap in the defense there, right off JP Smith. It's so hard when you're an Arrows team under pressure like that, disorganized in defense.